game's been out for a while, so most of the people can either just YouTube most of
I
the
have
stuff,
received word from Cops.
or
The infested boil that once threatened the plains of Eidolon. It has come back, uglier and more putrid than ever. Remain on standby. I may need you. Let's notice.
so for beginners, she will talk a lot, and another guy will talk a lot named Ordis. Ordis will probably come up here in the next 5-10 minutes. So if you're new to Warframe, there's a lot to learn. This is not one of those games that you pay to win. It's one of those games where you kind of have to be really grindy if you like games that you can grind on and not have to worry about, hey, if I spend $100 here, I'm gonna get a cool gun or blah blah blah. It doesn't work like that. First off, you have mastery ranks. As you can see right here, I'm a mastery rank 13, and this is my mastery rank 13 emblem. Now, do I unlock every gun at mastery rank 13? Heck no. There's some guns that are still locked. So you can go over here and click square and view your Warframe, your primary, your secondary, your melee. Whenever you get past a certain story arc, you unlock this focus tree, but we're not going to get into that just yet. And I don't know if the Parazon's one of those things you unlock right at the very beginning or not, but with the Parazon, you can use it to increase your hacking time, which, you know, restarts either corpuses.
Do you remember the old war, Operator? Ordis seems to have misplaced those memories.
There's Ordis, where I was talking about. But, anyway. So, like what I have on this one, these are called mods, by the way. Mod, for example, untraceable. When I hack something, I become invisible for 15 seconds. With this one, I have a 30% chance of auto-hacking without having to click any buttons or stuff. Or when I end up trying to kill somebody and before they die I use my mercy on them, everybody within an 18 meters goes blind. So those are called mods, and those are really helpful in the game. You'll be collecting mods. At the beginning, you'll collect like corrupted mods, or let's see if I can figure out which one it's called. If I have any. Flawed. When you're first starting in the game, they'll give you a bunch of flawed mods. Well, by the time you hit mastery rank 2 or 3, it'll go away. You can sell them because they're not all flawed. As you can see, here's one that doesn't say flawed. You know, ammo drum flawed, and then ammo drum with no flawed. And what's good about these mods, especially the non-flawed ones, you can upgrade them. As you can see, I went from a 15% maximum capacity, which is just base, and when I upgrade it all the way, I get a 90% maximum. But you must notice the difference that, you see how this it's 2 right here in the upper right hand corner of the card? Well, when you upgrade it, it becomes higher. So it's kind of like, do I want a better percentage chance with this weapon or this mod? You know, something to think about. But what's also good is whatever gun you do get, there's these things called mod polarities. And you have 3 different modes, well, not 3 different modes, but 3 different configurations where you can, say you like this one, and you want to go and just murder everybody, you know. That's what, you know, you can put on one side, and say you don't want to kill, you're looking for more of a, faster fire rate gun, you know. So you can have both configurations here. I believe you can have one more, but, you know, as you can see, 10 extra. But to be honest, you probably won't even get past the first one unless you're like a seasoned or ranked player. Speaking of seasoned or ranked players, newcomers, if you decide to join a clan or a dojo, same difference, they will, some mastery rank, high mastery rank people will try to tell you you need to get in their clan, blah blah blah. If you pay like 10 platinum a day or something stupid like that, don't fall for it. They just want your platinum, they want your money, they want whatever. There are clans and other mastery ranks out there that will help you without you having to do anything. Like the other day, I had a guy who joined our clans asking, he's like, well, this guy told me if I gave him 360 platinum, I can join his clan. Those guys are assholes. Those guys do not want anything with you, just your money. Because then you can give them the 360, and then after that, they don't have to accept you to the clan. Or they can accept you to the clan, you be in for about 5 days, and they'll just kick your ass out. You know? And there are people out there that say that they will help you, which, what I'm pulling up right now, depending if you have PlayStation, you can click L2, and it shows all the text. So this is my clan text. I can text whoever's on the clan. I have a friend on, Moo Bears. You can go to region chat, which is everybody within your time zone. Well, I guess not time zone. Wherever you're from. I don't know how region works, to be honest. So what region is basically you can go in there. You can talk to anybody. You can say you can't say dirty words. You say a dirty word, you're banned for a week. But you will come back. Don't get scared if you say it by accident. There are certain words you cannot say that you wouldn't consider dirty words. Like if you say ligma in this chat, they'll kick you out. So you might want to be careful what you say in here. Same with all these other chats. Next chat is a squatter recruiting chat. So usually this one's pretty lit up with people looking for people to do public matches with. As you can see, they're looking for somebody to do 20 waves with them, a defensive wave. They're farming murmurs, Gretel farm. As you can see, this is all this is meant for. People, if you do just try to text in here like you do in the regional chat, they will report you. Which all you have to do is just hover over here, click R, report player, or ignore. Hopefully they ignore you. If they report you, you could be in trouble. And then the most busiest one is the trade chat. So in the trade chat, you can trade almost anything except for like normal weapons. So like you can trade blueprints. So like, let's see if I can get somebody. So Mirage Prime blueprint. You can click on it like this, and it'll show you everything, what they're selling, what her abilities are, and all of that stuff. There's another place you can go to where it shows you her passive ability, her first ability, her second ability, her third ability, and her last ability. You can sell blueprints of any kind on certain guns and certain warframes. Mainly primes. But with mods, like we were talking about earlier, you can sell any type of mod to anybody. So like, this person's selling a Riven mod. Which a Riven mod is like 5 mods combined into one, basically. But you can only have one Riven mod on one gun. So like say, with my Opticore Vandal, I only have one Riven. Say if I had another Riven, I could not put that Riven on this one. It will not work. Just because that's just how the game is. Not my rules, just like I said, that's how the game is. So later all 3 of these doors will be locked. This back room back here, you will unlock your inner child, which if you have your giant rectangle, or you look at your giant rectangle in the center of your controller, you can turn into this guy and just roam around. Now what's this kid good for? Well, there's Eidolon hunts, which is on Earth, and you know, later when you proceed to do the missions and stuff, the story mode part of this game, you'll see what you know, what he's used for and how to use him. Next thing you would have to get, well, probably the first thing you'll end up getting is this bedroom. You know, in the bedroom you won't have anything, you won't have this fish tank, you won't have all these statues. I just have all this stuff up here just because of all the years. I say maybe I've been on Warframe for probably about 2 years. You know, just random stuff having in here. It does nothing except for one of the chapters you have to do in the game. Well, 2 of the chapters, I should say. Okay, and this back room is for people that have little pink stuff on their necks. I don't know if I have a Warframe that has a pink thing on his neck. I'll check. I doubt it's on you. Do excuse all the Warframes I do have. I try my best to play around with most of them. Now don't get me wrong, some of these probably I'll have a veteran or two, somebody looking at this and saying, hey, yeah, you know, look, you paid. Yeah, you know, I spent money just to get this some cool skins. That's the only reason I spend money for. Or usually I do in the trade chat, which is mainly everything. As you can see, this thing is worth 200 plat. That's what that P means at the end. WTS, want to sell. WTB, want to buy. WTT, which is rare to see in this chat, is, you know, want to trade. And also, too, on guns and Warframes, when you're trying to trade them, you may have to be a certain master rank to even acquire them. Mods you can get at any rank, but like say you want Oberon, you have to wait till your mastery rank 8. That's the prime version. I think you can get most of the regular Warframes at any level, but don't quote me on that. Nope. I used to go with a white, gold, and blue type of, like an Orican color. Nothing. Well, maybe I've cleaned all my guys. Okay, well, whatever. There'll be a pink thing on your neck. Or if you have who I have here, which is the Warframe called Necros. Necros and the pink thing on your neck have a special bond with this back room. As you can see with this skin, or the regular Necros, you turn into something different. So what ends up happening, if you have Necros, nothing will happen but him talking to you. But if you have a pink thing, you go on here and you can pop it out of your neck. Which, I just, you know, I don't think it does anything specifically to your Warframe. It just looks ugly. You can't pop it off until exactly a whole week, our time. Everything that you do is based on our time. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, even though you can look at your loadout stuff, as you can, they've updated it, where you can click R1 and it's not a giant cluster. You can see, you can equip your partner or animals, depending who you have at the time, to this side. On this side, you can do your emotes and other gear. Gear is really helpful, especially if you're going on the plains of Eidolon or the Valley, the Valis. Got fishing equipment. Or ciphers. Ciphers, especially for you newcomers, I would recommend going to the store. I believe it's only like 5,000 credits for a blueprint, if I'm not mistaken. And then later you learn how to get the Archwing launcher, and then the synthesis scanner. And then this last one. It's my least favorite, because I don't know how many people actually do Archwings anymore. It was like, whenever it first came out, it was one of those things that the team rushed with and are like, oh, whatever, with it. But, like I said, within this new update where you can fly around in your spaceships, they're supposed to revamp all of this. But on this is your, your flying weapon and melee. When you go to the orbs of Valis, you can get if you can do the story mode to it, you can use your heavy. This is considered a heavy weapon at any time you want to. And you also get a snowboard, a skateboard to fly around. But, you know, it's either you can use this to go flying around, or you can use, you know, your Archwing. Depending on whatever you want to use. Say, you know, say you want to craft something. You got a new blueprint. So you go over here. This is where your foundry. You can craft everything and anything in here. As you can see, some pieces, some things you may need. Like for this one, I need the Heart of Ninth and the Radiant Centrum. Where you can find them is on Earth. How can you make sure that's on Earth? Well, you can do one or two things. You can either pull out a cell phone like everybody else and go on the Warframe fandom page. That place, if you get lost, will save you a lot of time if you're looking for stuff to do. Especially when you get to the part where you have to do the nighttime, get all these flowers to complete a quest. Like I said, you can build anything. You can build guns from here. You can build regular Warframes from here. You can build Prime Warframes. Primaries, secondaries, melees, Archwings, Sentinels, landing craft. Yes, you can find parts for your spaceship or another spaceship in the game. You just have to look for it. And then sometimes too, Warframe's cool enough where they give out appearances like mask and stuff, mask skins for weapons. After a while, when you do Clem, you'll meet him later in the game. You can get specters, vapor specters, or specters of him, and you can recreate him and send him out. Archwing launcher. Ah, yes. This will, the Frost Leaf, the Sunlight Jade Leaf, all this, I would recommend using the Warframe fandom page just for the fact that these suckers are hard to find. Keys, modular, trophy, mining, miscellaneous. So, also too, you can go to the store. I got this from getting a Prime pack whenever I really wanted Frost Prime. But these Titan extractors, if you complete a whole planet, let me show you what I mean by a whole planet. So say you go to Mercury. As you can see, I have been to every place on Mercury. Everything's unlocked and completed. So you can click, as you see in the lower right hand corner, L3 Resource Drone. And look, it pops up this little thing. So you can deploy one of these things down here. I will use my Titan one, and it will tell you, well, it usually says, you have about, usually it takes about 3 hours to get done, depending which one you put on here. Titan one takes about 3 hours, and the Titan Prime takes about 3 hours, and I believe the big Titan one, this one, the Titan Extractor, takes about 10 hours to do. So between the Titan, the Prime version of it, this is just faster, but you will get the same amount of quantity using either or, so it doesn't matter. But I would highly recommend getting this if you want to start building up resources. And, you know, you can set it down, and I could close my application right now, and this will continue going. And then within 3 hours, I can come back and it'll be all done. And then, as you can see here, it will give you one of these 4 items and, like, quantities of rarity. So with the rarity, it goes from top to bottom. What's the most common? What's the rarest? Also, too, when you move your cursor, your guys' head moves, as you can see. That's what we'll talk about. So there's this trader that comes every 2 weeks, I believe. His name's Bokai Tier. He's at one of these relays. Usually these relays are open as soon as you go to a new planet. So like they'll go to Mercury. Some of them are destroyed. So as you can see, this is open right at the beginning. This one was destroyed. Go to Earth, you go bum bum bum. When you go to Mars, look. It's all open. But anyway, he goes there and he trades you like some rare items, you know, sometimes prime gear, sometimes not prime gear. Sometimes cool stuff. And he does have a story mission that you have to buy off of him. Also, these junctions, as you can see, there's some challenges before you can go on to the next level. So, I've completed all my junctions. Just because that's how I am. And sometimes you can't get to the next planet unless you complete this junction. And when you go to this junction, I'll go ahead and go here. There's usually a bad guy. I don't know if there's a bad guy. I don't think there'll be a bad guy because I've completed it myself. But you have to fight a bad guy one-on-one. And hopefully your gun is strong enough and your Warframe is strong enough to handle their durability and their power. Usually the first 4 Warframes of this aren't that hard. But yeah, you'll come up here. As you can see, they say a scary intro. As long as you have checkmark, 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 you're good. So, confront Spectre. You go out here. And, you know, it's not supposed to be that easy. But when you're that high of enough level, you can just let your carrier kill them. Then you come up here and then you free the solar system, and then you can travel between planet and planet. And then you'll get the rewards that it promises you. Also, while you're in the loading screen, you can move your ship as much as you want to. Oh, another thing, when you're fighting those guys at the junction, it will not allow you to have anybody come help you. It's a one-on-one fight. So, if you have a buddy that is strong enough to help you, he cannot help you. Same for if you want to do your mastery ranks, which I'll get to in a second. So, let's finish with this back part and then I'll move to the front. If you have a companion, which I have a cat, or a Kavat, if you want me to be right. And a Kavat you can get through, it shows you the steps, what you need, you can get blueprints for all this. And then, but you'll probably end up doing this one mission called, it's a Kuva mission, or Kubro mission, which you'll get your dog. You get to incubate a dog. Pretty sweet, right? And here, what's good and bad, if you get an animal, you have to keep up with it. You have to play with it. If you keep up with it, its health will go up. If you play with it, its damage will stay up. And say you don't want it, you can put it away. Say, cosine patches. Well, you can put your animal into stasis, which it will stay as, you know, whatever health.
Ordis wonders, what are you thinking about?
Whatever your health or damage you put them in as, they will stay the same and not decayed. Alright, now to my last place. You got a new mod. You've upgraded your gun. Now you need to upgrade the mod. You can go here and use any of the mods that you have and you can upgrade it. So say I'll use this one. You want to upgrade it? You go click it once. Hopefully you just have one like this one. You go here and you can click R1 and upgrade it all the way. Like I said, it shows how much percentage you're going to be getting and how much it will change into from 6 to 9. Over here, Endo. Endo you can get from doing Fisher missions. A lot of from Fisher missions. or from whenever you unlock her during story missions. Oh, there she is. Ireton treasures. So what you can do with Ireton treasures once you get them, you can, as you can see, this part isn't moving. Down here it shows you 375 endo. Well, say you want more endo. There's these things called stars that are everywhere. You just have to open up canisters upon canisters, and you'll more than likely get a shit ton of these blue stars, and every now and then an orange star. But see how it's not moving, it's just standing still, blah blah blah. 375 platinum. I have a thing called auto install, which it'll just automatically install everything. See, 375 went to that 1725, and it's moving. It's cool looking. Who wouldn't want to keep this thing? But if you're like me, sometimes you will have a buttload of them, and you're like low on endo. But I mean, who isn't low on endo nowadays? As you can see, there's a bunch of variety, and they all are different prices. 1800, 1500, 1700, 1500, 2700 for this thing. I mean, they're cool looking, and you can use them as decoration.
Your collection of mods is impressive, Operator.
And
but
orders.
I wonder if there are more to be had.
And orders will talk to you no matter what you do. You can be standing here changing colors on your Warframe. Go in here, go to your Warframe, and that's what's cool about Warframe. Say you don't like the color, you don't like the default color that you get. You can go to Appearance, click Square. Primary color. Usually when you get done, you'll have, I believe it's this one? Yes, this one to go by with colors. Sometimes Warframe will have, like this Halloween one was for only 1 credit. 1 credit is not platinum. Platinum and credits are 2 different things. This is platinum. This is what you get from trading and spending real life money getting. Credits, you earn by doing missions, getting stuff done. And then you can add other stuff. Like I said, you know, there's different types of Warframe helmets and other good. Ooh, that's a pretty cool helmet. And other stuff you can add, you know, and then like say you want to add that helmet and you are like, I don't know what it looks like. No, mutation. Ooh. Oh, looks like a demon overlord. Is there a body that goes with this one? Nope. But yeah, you can check out your colors, you can rotate. Same with your guns. Guns, melee, your carrier. You can even change your pet's color if you wanted to. Can't change this though. Your decorations. And if you want to do your decorations, all you do is you click start. Arsenal is that one thing we just got out of, showing your Warframe and all that. Foundries, where I showed you to, you know, blueprints. Incubators, where my animal was. Inventory. So, what's, I shouldn't say sucks about Warframe, but kind of does. You can run out of inventory. Not, hear me out. Not for like miscellaneous, not for, you know, all this stuff. But say you want a new gun. You only have a certain amount of space before you run out. And per new opening, you need 12 platinum. As you can see, I had to trade, or not trade. Well, I had to trade to get my platinum to get more spaces for my weapons. So, if it says your inventory is full and you cannot pick up the weapon you just made in your foundry, you will have to go into your inventory and delete one weapon that you don't like or do not use, or you buy, you know, a slot. Same goes for Warframes. As you can see, I have no open slots. So my next one, I would have to spend 20 platinum and get a new Warframe slot. I mean, that's the only thing that sucks. You can't have, a bunch of guys or a bunch of weapons without you spending some sort of platinum. Which, I mean, they don't force it on you, but they kind of force it on you. Oh. So, let's see. Equipment. Oh. Inventory. Void relics. So, over here are your void relics. These are special missions you can do, or special fissures, which you can unlock prime gear. This is where you get prime gear from. So I'm going to click on this one and show you what you get. So, brown, as you can see, this brown bar going through the bottom shows you what more than likely you'll probably get. But most of the time, you may not. Or most of the time you will, and sometimes, or most of the time you may not. At the bottom down here is your rare stuff. And gold. I can't remember what the percentage is that you may or may not get gold. This is if you keep it stock. And when I mean stock, as you can see down here, you can upgrade it to intact, to exceptional, to flawless, to radiant. And as you can see, each one changes, changes. The more you go here, the lower this goes. And the higher the extremely rare goes. So if you're looking for a weapon you want to build, this is where, like, prime weapon. Prime weapons are by far better than the original. Unless certain Warframes you use are kind of the same. Kind of like with Rhino and Rhino Prime. There's probably, like, not that big of a difference between either or in stats. But that's just my opinion. But yes, look, Mirage Prime, Mesa Prime, Zephyr Prime, Wukong Prime. This is where you get all your prime gear, prime loot. And then say there's some mismatching. Say you got a prime part of a gun that you didn't want. Well, guess what? This trade channel comes into play. But most of the people that's in this trade channel would want a full set of something. They wouldn't want, like, a part of a gun and then part of a Warframe helmet or, nothing like that. Okay, let's see, equipment, mods, abilities. You can click start and see the abilities of your mod. Specters, which is those ghostly figures that you can get. So if you want to decorate your orbiter, you just go to orbiter and you click decorate. And as you can see, you go into a third person. Well, you're already in third person, but like third person omniscient. Look at your Warframe. You can stare at him, him, he, she, whatever. As you can see in the lower right, you can place an ornament. These things can be used as ornaments. You can get other stuff as ornaments. I just got this today. It's adorable. I'm not gonna lie. I want it on my top ship. And you can move it anywhere in your ship. You can rotate it. Boom. It's there. It's there forever. Change the theme in here. You can do a bunch of stuff. Just let's go ahead and mess around with your controls. Click start. Look what you got. Operator. That's that little guy. I don't think you'll have him right off the bat. Markets. Market is up here. You can go to market, and it'll show you prime stuff or stuff you can buy with platinum. As you can see, there's certain stuff that you can get. So, like, I'm pretty sure, as you can see, consume to upgrade the Railjet grid. If you don't feel like grinding, you can buy this stuff for 50 platinum. You want, I believe these are perks for it. Increased all turret critical by a certain amount of percent. See, this is for, like, the people that want to buy their way into doing this stuff instead of going out and looking for it. And then there's some things in here, like if you have platinum, that you're bored to get rid of. There's some cosmetic stuff that are somewhat, I want to say somewhat cheap. What is this? This Parazon model was gifted to the first Warframe Railjet cruise. Q. And like I said, look, 255 platinum for a skin, for an Excalibur skin. Pretty cool looking. Like I said, if you're that type of guy that just wants to spend money and get skins, go right ahead. You know, some of these skins, they're hard to get. This is just the regular page, though. You can click triangle, and it shows you everything. You want to go look at Warframe skins? Go ahead. Look at Warframe Deluxe skins. And it shows you every skin, any skin, for whatever Warframe you want to look at. By far, my favorite skin is the Chroma skin. Chroma Dynasty skin. Sorry about that. It just looks like a freaking dragon, dude. Just look at him. You know him. Haro. Haro's a cool Warframe. Neza. Like all these, you know, and then there's gun skins, and also what I was going to get to, I didn't want to show you this, but I guess I might as well. Components. Say you're a lazy guy and you don't want to go out and, you know, grind. Here you can buy almost any, hear me out, any component you want. The reason why I say almost any is that there, I believe, 2 that you can't get on here, maybe 1. You can't get argon crystals on here, because argon crystals will disappear after either 12 or 24 hours. I haven't played Warframe in such a long time, I can't tell you which is which. And maybe hexagon? Yeah, hexagon, which is only found on Jupiter. Can't get those on here. They have bundles, boosters, and then color palettes, those slots. But that's if you want to spend money and do your own thing, or grind. You know, grind, get your own platinum, and then trade it off with people. So this will probably help you the most: the codex. And the codex, you have 4 things: quest, which, you know, I was talking about the story mode. Shows you what you, if you complete it, and it shows you what you know, it'll tell you what you need to do and make you go along through the story mode. You can have more than 1 quest open, but whatever, say you have Vor's Prize, Sayas Vigil, and Vox Solaris, they all 3 will be open, but it will only do 1 at a time, if you know what I'm saying. So say you have, like I said, all 3 open, and Vox was the last one you have open. Vox will start first. But say you are stuck on Vox, the Vox Solaris quest, and you wanted to go to somewhere else. You can go back to this codex right here, and go over to these 2, and click, you know, start quest or whatever. Like for this one, look, see, it says I need to do the second dream, which I've already done. It has that X there. Build a dry dock in my dojo, research Cephalon Psi at dry dock research console, and then build Cephalon Psi in Foundry. That's what I gotta do to start this test, to start this quest. And yes, there kind of is a certain order that you will have to do these in to unlock certain ones. Like, you have to do this one to unlock the Chimer Prologue, and then to unlock the Sacrifice. And you will unlock stuff while you go. I don't want to ruin any of this, but I'll let you figure out for yourself how you want to. Next up, we come to the universe. What you can do in the universe, you can look up any Warframe. Like, say you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to craft this Warframe. Let me see what abilities they have. You can click out. You can see their stats. Armor 6, for example, Loki's armor 65, 150, 75, 75, 1.25. These stats do make a difference. So as you can see, with him having a 65 armor, he's a little bit squishy. He's not one of those guys you want to go in head on fighting somebody. But if you watch his abilities, you'll see that he being sneaky is all to your advantage. So as you can see, able to hang from walls 10 times longer than normal. And sometimes too in their description here, desired by advanced players, Loki offers a variety of specialized reconfigured abilities to master the battlefield through manipulation. His first ability, Decoy, makes enemies shoot at his clone while he's killing them. Loki can go invisible. You know. The third ability, he can switch with people where they're at. And then the last ability, set forth a way of disrupting the projectile weapons of enemies. So it's basically making people not use their guns and revert to melee, which is perfect because, like I said, he's a squishy guy. Which, what I mean by squishy, he cannot take a lot of damage. So if you make him revert to using their melee and you got a gun, you know, they can never bring a knife to a gunfight. So technically speaking, Loki counters your biggest problem. As with it, with all the other Warframes, you know, I can't say that all of them. I can't say none of them are the same. Now you're gonna be like, oh yeah, well, Baron or Baron Prime are the same. Well, they're the same fucking Warframe. Just one's a Prime, one's not. And I'll show you. They are different. About 150, 150, 125, 100, and then 1. And let's go look at his Prime version. 225, 175, 125, 100, and 1. Like I said, you saw that there was a difference between both of them in stats. Like I said, Oberon, I'm not gonna lie, if you like being a healer, if you like being a healer and a tank at the same time, an all-around good guy, like it says right here, balance, he's one of the few that has pretty equal stuff, equal attributes, I should say. He's probably the best Warframe. That's why this codex is good. You don't even have to own the Warframe yet, and you can look at them, you know, to see if you, like I said, if you want them. And then say, you know, just go through them and read how, you know, read their characteristics, read their powers, and see if there's something, see if this Warframe is suited for you. You know, you can go on YouTube and be like, you know, I want to see what everybody else uses. Most people use between Rhino, Mirage, Wisp, or Saturn. Maybe Nova. You'll see some Nova players. But mainly Saturn, Rhino, Mirage. I lie. Maybe you might see a Garuda or an Ember. But other than that, and a Wisp. Now, not every Warframe has a Prime either. As you can see, Goss is one of the new characters that does not have a Prime. Haro is one of the new characters that does not have a Prime. My favorite guy, Nidus, does not have a Prime. I can only imagine what they would do with him in a Prime. So if you're like, oh, I need the Prime version of this, it's either not out yet or there might not be one. Which, I say that now, and there will be one for everybody because we're just now... I didn't think they would make Ivra or Atlas a Prime. As you can see, Ivra, however you say her name, is the newest Prime, and you'll see that once in the loading screen. She's a kind of squishy girl too, but as you can see, 200 energy, that's a lot of energy, and energy is used, which is that blue stuff where it says drain, that's her ability usage. And while you're leveling up her bless me, while you're leveling her up, her health and shield will go up. But not her armor. Or her energy, health, and shield will go up, but her armor will not go up. Don't know why that doesn't change, but there are mods where you can upgrade her armor to make her a little more, you know, she can take some damage, you know. She's a tomboy. She's not a pushover. But anyway, for Warframes, you can check all the Warframes on Archwings. Same goes for weapons. You want to look at a weapon's stats, you can go here and look up any weapon, even if you don't own them. You want to look at the stats and be like, let's see if this is stronger than the gun that I have. But then again, you are going to have to work for it. It's the one thing you can't buy in this game is your mastery rank. You're going to have to work for your mastery rank. Which, how to get up to your how to upgrade your mastery rank, you ask? It's by, so you can prestige your weapons, Warframe, Companion, the whole whatever. So you go down here, and as you can see in my lower, well, you click triangle to upgrade. Lower right hand corner says actions. You click that. There's this thing called polarize. What it does, you get these things called forma, and what the forma does is it polarizes your thing. So you can go from rank 1 back to rank 30 and get XP for it. Or say you buy a bunch of blueprints for, you know, one specific Warframe or weapon. Say you delete a weapon in, you delete the Boltor, and then re-download the Boltor. You'll get anywhere for, I can't remember what the XP differential, but I think by the time you make this hit rank 30 again, you get about 3,000 XP. Takes a while to level up. I just became a 13 not too long ago. As you can see, I need an additional 59,499 more XP to become a rank 14. Also in here, the codex, you can look up your enemies. So with the synthesis scanner, you can scan these bad guys and it'll tell you stats about them. What their strong points are and what their weaknesses are. What they drop when you kill them. But the only way to see them is by scanning them. Not every bad guy, as you can see here, is discovered. I've probably seen every bad guy. Have I scanned every bad guy? No. The Codex is a very, very big place. As you can see, it says one more scan of this dude, and I can see everything that he drops. And like this dude was like maybe once in a lifetime. He came in, came out, and that was the end of him. He might come back. But like I said, the Codex is one of those things that is expanding by every update. And as you can see, I have a crap ton of bad guys I have not scanned. If that wants to be your mission, you can go ahead and do that. I'll get to Kuva Lich here in a second. So then this one, say you want a companion. You can see, like with your Warframe, what they do. And for these are mods, the ones in quotations. You can either look them up on Warframe, or you might have gotten them by going through a mission already. And like I said, this guy's Shade is for stealth gameplay. Ghost will make you go invisible, and I believe Revenge, if somebody shoots you first, he will attack them. So, like I said, you can go in here and look for stuff with companions. Objects you don't have to really worry about. It's one of those things like the bad guys you have to scan to unlock them. Relics and arcanes. This stuff is if you collect them. So if you've collected before, you've unlocked it. Or if you have them in stock, I should say. Not collected. But if you've got them in stock, they'll be over here. And then it'll show, well, maybe it doesn't. It used to show where the drop location for these relics were. Now, this is recently added, Kuva Lich. Kuva Lich you will not get until, like, you hit Saturn or Jupiter. Saturn.
Next time you drop someone at death's door, knock.
This is a new guy. One of the few new guys that you can get. And this is what you have to do to get him. Or this is what will happen when you get him. So they added this guy and the Parazon, which is the Assassin's Creed hidden blade looking thing. And you have to do a specific order, which I'm not going to get into too detail with them. But as soon as you hit Saturn or anywhere where Grineer are rank 30 and higher in levels, the Kuva Lich will come up, and whatever Warframe you're using, you will unlock him. So at the time when I was trying to get him, I was using Vauban Prime. So his birthplace is Telestio, and it shows you what he's resisted to. Like I said, something new, something you can look at whenever you unlock your character. It's not something you'll unlock right away. So far I only have one. You can get more, but only one. So mods. Oh, mods. Mods is one of those things where they'll show up if you've unlocked them. As you see at the bottom, where it says drop sources, they will tell you sometimes where you can find them at. The Red Veil, Still Meridian, Adhesive Blast, and like I said, it shows you where everything is. As you can see, there are a buttload of mods. Whee! Ooh. Defiled. Nice. Art gallery. There are these blue. Am I lying? Hold on. I don't know. Art galleries you just get from whatever. Fragments. That's what I'm thinking of. Fragments. There are these blue things that are throughout every stage on every planet. You scan them and it gives you this little picture and a detail, kind of like a backstory or the lore into the game. You know, the stuff that they don't say during the story mode. But it kind of shows you what happens between each faction, each planet, each weapons, as you can see. Training. Say you get confused and, I'm boring you. And you're like, alright, whatever, I'm going to click off this video and look at somebody else. Look at what it says. You can go here to training, and it shows you, what buttons to press to do certain combos. How to jump, how to run, how to upgrade your mods, how to craft stuff, what damage is like. Clans, sentinels, all that stuff. Missions. So, in Warframe, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. About 15 missions you can do. These last 4 are like multiplayer if you want to go fight somebody else other than AIs. You have about 15 things you can do. You can do assassination, which is you kill the boss of the planet. You go after one guy, you gotta capture him before he escapes or you fail the mission. Defense, you're protecting one item. It goes to increments of 5 waves, and it'll ask you if you want to stay or if you want to leave. Excavation, same thing. You're protecting one item. Well, you can have multiple items going. It'll fall from the sky, but you have to power it with a battery by killing certain bad guys that have battery packs on the back of them. Exterminate. You want to go on a killing spree. Exterminate's probably my favorite one. Exterminate or rescue. Hijack, you and your crew, or just you, you have to stand near this floating object while it depletes your shield and gets close to your ship, and you have to defend it while it's moving. So you have to move with it, while losing your shield and protecting it at the same time. Hive sabotage. You go over to Pluto. And you destroy a bunch of pusses. And that's basically it with that one. Interception. You have 4 radio points that you have to take control of. Enemies can take them back over. So you have to defend 4 objectives. They cannot be destroyed, but they can be recaptured for the enemy. You have to protect 4 objectives from every enemy known to man before they recapture them. An invasion's pretty interesting. An invasion, you can choose sides of if you want to help a certain faction in the war. So you can either help the Corpus, do 3 missions with them in a row, and you unlock a object after a certain period of time, or you can help the Grenier, and I believe that's the only 2 you can do that are the bad factions that you can join. Mobile defense, you go from point A to point B to point C, hacking one thing and then defending it. That's why it's called mobile defense. You know, you take the payload to one area, you hack the computer, you defend the area while it's hacking, then you go from that area to another area. Recovery, what is this? I have to search through the level for their missing gear. I've never done a rescue. When a Tenno is defeated by a Zanuka hunter with no weapons, Tenno can only use their fists for attacking, so using stealth attacks can be effective. I've never done this one, to be honest. Zanukas are one of those things where it comes with the invasion. The invasion. Say if you're on a Grenier and you're going up against Corpus, Zanuka will hunt you. Same with if you kill too many bosses to get Warframe parts, you'll get this guy called a Stalker. He'll show up on any mission out of nowhere and completely annihilate you. Unless you have good stuff to protect yourself with. Rescue mission. What you can do with a rescue mission is you and a bunch of your allies, or by yourself, however you want to do it. You can play solo or you can play with friends. You go and you gotta go save this guy. And he's in this mechanized lockdown. It's a stealthy mission. You can get in and out. You can either kill everybody in there quietly, or get the guy quietly, go in and go out, and then don't worry about a thing. You will have to protect your guy. Oh, kinda. So, what I mean by that is, you can, when you save the guy from the prison cell that you get him from, you can either run to the end, even though it tells you not to, that you'll leave him behind, but it's an AI that's following you, so he'll teleport towards you if you go to the end. Rush to the end real quick, or you can take your sweet time and kill everybody while protecting the guy, and you can give the guy your secondary and blah blah blah. Sabotage missions. Oh, those are fun. Sabotage missions, basically you have an objective point that you gotta destroy, but you have to unlock 2 terminals to even get to the objective point to blow it up, and when you blow it up you can leave. Spy missions, you have 3. You have A, B, and C. You have to collect A, B, and C stealthily without triggering any alarm. If you trigger an alarm, you have a whole minute to get to that function and hack it, or you fail the mission, or you get like not another chance, but you have to get 2 of the 3 instead of 3 of the 3, if you know what I'm saying. So you have to get, like, say you fail A, you have to get B and C. Or there are some missions when you get towards Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, where you have to get all 3 or you fail the mission. Survival. Survival is, I say survival, spy, sabotage, or rescue, or exterminate. Probably my favorites. Survival, basically, you can run around the entire map. You're just protecting yourself. You're trying to see how long you survive while your oxygen is deprived. They will give you a little thing in your little left-hand corner right here that says how much oxygen is left. Mother Lotus is what she's called, but I call her Mother Lotus. She will drop you air support, or oxygen, that you have to open every now and then. But also, too, when you kill bad guys, they drop oxygen. And these 4, I really don't play Annihilation, Team Annihilation. So it's like, let me put this in, I guess, Call of Duty form. free-for-all, team deathmatch, capture the flag, and like, if you remember BO3, where you had to get the ball into the hoop, almost like basketball, but it's not. That's what that is. And that's basically the basics of Warframe. Well, up here, you can go do your, like I said, TDM, free-for-all, capture the flag, and basketball, football, rugby, I don't know what it is. Go there. When you get an update, you can check everything about Warframe on the news page right here, and it'll take you to, well, I'm not going to show you, I guess not, to the Warframe page. And over here are your factions. You can go to different factions, which later down the road it will show you which factions you get into. Each faction has a level.
You would make an excellent Cephalon, Tenno.
Thank you. You'll start off at neutral. And depending where you go, you can go to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or, which sucks, say you don't go with this faction and you go with the faction that doesn't go with it. That doesn't help. You can go down 2 levels, so let's see. As you can see here, it says who they're allied with. They're allied with the Perennian Sequence, which are these guys. So if you help them, you'll get like full price of whatever mission you do for them, and then New Loka gets 50% of that. As you can see, I did not go with either of these 3. I'm in -2. So what does -2 mean? They'll bring Hunted by Moa.
The probability of us working together has converged on never.
I'm hunted by a platoon of Eximus Moas. And then versus the squad. And it goes same with this one. By Ancient Healer platoon.
You're just like the
or
rest,
a squad.
tainted and ruined beyond salvation.
I would say it does matter which ones you go through, but it kind of doesn't.
You would make an excellent Cephalon, Tenno.
Unless you wanted to get a specific thing from them. So like each of these are locked. They just looked unlocked because I have it unlocked. I have her all the way to rank 5. So I'll go to Still Meridian because they're the lowest.
Hey, are you gonna help these people out?
Once you hit this maximum point, you can rank up. Rank up, you have to give them stuff. As you can see, you have to give them a working catalyst and 100,000 credits. As you can see, I do not have enough standing, which is this. But say I don't want to upgrade just yet.
Here's what we can do for you.
This is the stuff I can get as of right now being a rank 2. When you rank up to Defender, you get all the way up to here for stuff unlocked. And you get mods for certain guns or Warframes. This is where you can get Warframe ability mods to upgrade your, Warframe's potential. And each ones are different. So as you can see here, we're starting off with Atlas. And then going down to Ember. If I go to the Arbiters of Hexus.
Perhaps these will show you the path.
We're starting off with Ash. So like I said, it just depends which one you want to go with and which one looks cooler, in my opinion.
Do you see anything interesting?
And this one starts off with Banshee. Look, we don't run out of NAs. Like I said, it just depends whoever you want to go with.
An enemy in any form is still a target.
You'll be hunted either way by somebody or something. So, doesn't matter. You go here. And usually, there's some type of event going on every week. As you can see, this time it's the Plague Star, Still Vahex, Thrax, Toxin, Mixa, and Poison the Infested Boil, growing in the center of the plains. Here, if you have every node, which is those, every one of these missions unlocked on every planet you can do the Arbiters of, or the Arbirations, I'm sorry. And you, like I said, you get 50,000 credits for it and Vita Cents, but you are versing level 60 and level 80 starting off. Here is Bokai Tier. You can trade with him some of your prime stuff and credits to get either skins, weapons, or you can get the Sands of Inaros, which is a quest that you gotta do. So Maru's Bazaar. This is Maru. She is what gets you your Ayatan treasures. You can only talk to her once a week. So when you talk to her, you complete the mission, you have a whole week before she gives you another one. Same with Clem. Clem, you do your survival for him, and when you help him, you'll unlock 6 specters of him. Well, 1 specter, whether 1 or 5, I don't know. And then here's alerts. Sometimes Warframe gives you rewards for doing stuff. So, say if you want something easy, you can go up again. You can do an interception mission against level 5s and level 7s. Unlock an Orc and Callus and 15,000. This one, you get 1,000,000 credits for doing a defense mission against level 30s and level 40s. This one, you get a Riven mod for shotguns. But you're going up against level 50s and level 60s for 30,000 credits. And this, Kuva Siphons. Kuvas, I don't think you'll be able to get until after the war with him. This is the invasion missions I was talking about where you pick between... So we'll go here. It's the one with the fist. You can either choose to be on the Grenadier side or the Corpus side. This is the only time where either or will become your friend. If you're just going to do a regular mission, they will be your enemy. So, it's only during invasion missions that they will become your friend. This is your syndicate missions, the guys for like Cephalon, the Arbiters of Hexus, or the Still Meridian. Fishers, which is what we were talking about, this is where you come and get your prime gear. There's different ones every hour. As you can see, this one's about to expire in 5 minutes. This one's about to expire in an hour. Hopefully they have something that you like. Like this one is survival. That's what I like. The spy.
Tenno, you really want this? Fine, let's do this!
This one is for some of the elite players that want to test out their Warframes and guns. So you do, I can't remember what this is called specifically. Maybe? No. Usually I would figure they'd show their name down. So you complete all 3 of these missions going up against, like I said, 1560. It's a rescue mission, but it's an Xmas stronghold. Xmas guys are really hard. This is a spy mission, but it's at an energy reduction, which means you can't use your abilities at all. Defense, you can only use an assault rifle against level 80s and 100s. What is your possible reward? An Ayatan sculpture, a Riven mod, 4,000 Endo, 6,000 Kuva, a 3-day booster, an Alexis Warframe adapter, Forma, Orcan Catalyst, Orcan Reactor Blueprint, or a Legendary Core. Like I said, this is up to you. If it's something you think you can do, you try your best to do it. And that's everything with the basics I can say for Warframe. You know, if you guys have any questions, just leave a comment down below. Subscribe. I trying to do videos weekly now. Hope you guys have a nice night or morning, whatever is going on. And I will see you guys